So there's a lot of people saying right now that Paulo Costa's career might be back. There's a lot of people saying that Paulo Costa is making a comeback in the middleweight division. Although he did beat Roman Kopylov, I just don't really consider Roman Kopylov to be like top of the food chain in the middleweight division at all, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Kopylov is a good fighter. He does have some good wins. He beat Cesar Almeida, beat Chris Curtis, lost to freaking Paulo Costa. And Paulo Costa is a guy that's been having a freaking super inconsistent career ever since he lost to Israel Adesanya back in 2020. Loses to Israel, loses to Marvin Vettori, beats an old ass Luke Rockhold, the guy that was way past his prime, loses to Robert Whitaker, Sean Strickland, and finally beats a mid tier level fighter in the middleweight division. Right now, as it stands, ladies and gentlemen, Paulo Costa is ranked number 13th in the middleweight division, and there's just a school of guys that he could potentially fight against. For us to actually have, a real conversation on whether or not Paulo Costa is back. I mean, he did prove that he is back to his mauling type style, just coming forward, landing strikes against his opponents. But we need solid evidence that Paulo Costa is back to being in that top form that we saw a couple of years ago when he went into that crazy win streak. I think that he should fight against Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is ranked a couple spots above Paulo Costa, ranked at number 11. I think that would be a great matchup for Paulo Costa if he's able to get a win over Brendan Allen. I think that would show without a shadow of a doubt that Paulo Costa is back being in tip-top form. Brendan Allen, let's not forget, just got a win over Marvin Vettori. So if, that MMA math does tend to kick in for a lot of people, if Paulo Costa is able to beat Brendan Allen, I mean, I think that there's a good conversation for us to have that Paulo Costa might actually be back. Another guy that I think we should see Paulo Costa compete against is none other than Israel Adesanya, a guy that he's lost to before. I mean, ever since we saw, Paulo Costa lose to Israel Adesanya, that was pretty much the start of his roller coaster ass career, just up and downs, ladies and gentlemen. So if we do see Paulo Costa have a good performance against Israel Adesanya, then yes, I will go ahead and agree with the narrative that a lot of people seem to be having right now, that Paulo Costa is back being in that form that we all pretty much were a fan of back in the day, where he was just mauling his opponents. Is Paulo Costa actually back? I mean, in my honest opinion, probably not. I mean, he did just beat Roman Kopylov, a mid-tier fighter. I wouldn't really say that that's reason enough for us to believe that Paulo Costa is back. But I am excited to see what he does with this win. I mean, there is going to be a lot of hype behind Paulo Costa now because obviously he's a fan favorite and he's freaking funny as hell. I mean, he just has a lot of personality to him. And he's been a big name in the middleweight division for a while now. And now that he does have a win, he has some momentum in his career yet again. But are we going to see Paulo Costa yet take another loss in his career? I mean, let's just be honest, man. He's been having a roller coaster as of late in the last couple of years. I would love to see him perform well. But if I'm just being completely honest, as it stands right now, I cannot honestly tell you guys the same sentiment that a lot of people are saying that Paulo Costa is back, because I honestly don't see it until we see Paulo Costa beat somebody in the top 10 or a fighter that has a good freaking reputation of being a fighter that's in the tip top of the middleweight division. I cannot honestly say that Paulo Costa is back yet. I do have a lot of hope for him. I hope that he makes a good run. Now that he is what? Let's see how old Paulo Costa is right now. Being freaking 34 years old. I mean, he's not necessarily in his prime anymore, but he is, not old yet. I say once he starts hitting 36, we could definitely start saying that Paulo Costa is a freaking washed up guy that's probably ready to retire anytime, soon. But I think that right now he does have a year. He has a freaking year left to do something, He needs to get a couple of good wins. And who knows? He probably does get a title shot if he's able to just get 2 or 3 more wins in the middleweight division, but he needs some solid wins and he needs some solid performances. If he wants to go ahead and pretty much at some point fight Kazam Chimaev, because he did call out Khamzat, he needs to go on a tear. He needs to beat some big names in the middleweight division. I say he goes on and starts off with someone like Brandon Allen, then someone like Israel Adesanya, then somebody in the top 5, maybe Sean Strickland again, maybe fights Nursidin Mamavov, and that's already a clear cut freaking path to fighting for the title again. But he needs to have some impressive performances without a doubt, and he needs to do it pretty damn quick. He's already 34 years old, so time is not on his side at all. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there that know about the sport much more than me. People that go ahead and pay attention to the analytics probably are going to argue against this video. Let me know if you're one of them, and let me know your reasoning behind why you think Paulo Costa is back in the middleweight division. If I'm being honest, I don't see it. I really don't see it. But like I said, Paulo Costa right now has the entire opportunity on his hands to make a good run. I think he's maybe 2, maybe 3 wins away from potentially fighting for the title, but he cannot afford to have any more mess ups in his career. Time is not on his side. And in my honest opinion, there is going to be a lot of tough matchups from this point forward for Paulo Costa. But let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comment section below. If you guys agree or disagree with anything, if you guys want to go ahead and argue, we could go back and forth in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure. Peace out and have a good one.